Estão batendo. Lento.
Okay. Afternoon, everybody. Sorry, we're just a few minutes late. We're about to start with the briefing. Can someone help us with the door? It's not closed. Thank. Okay, while they're helping us with the door, my name is Bongani Diako. I'm the spokesperson for Postbank. Welcome everyone to the briefing today, the Postbank media briefing. I'll introduce our panel. On the far right is Mr. Tamsanga Kele, who's our Chief Commercial Officer. Next to him is Ms. Yureka Singh, our Chief Operating Officer. And just next to her is the CEO of Postbank, Ms. Nikki Mbengashe, who will take us through the briefing. And thanks everyone for joining us today for this important Postbank briefing. The colleagues that are on the streaming services as well, you are all welcome. CEO, please take us through.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to everyone who's online. Good morning to everyone who's here. And again, I think as Bongane said, thank you very much for joining us today. It seems like we're doing a lot of media briefings. I'm not sure whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think from our side, it's quite important that we clarify information so that our beneficiaries and even the media, because we do know that we do need them to help us communicate properly, helps us to just ensure that the information gets to the right people. So we appreciate your time to come through again, because I know that we were here, I think, just less than 2 weeks ago. The briefing is not going to be long today. I am by myself today, because I think the last one we shared with SASSA, but I am by myself today. But the briefing is about, again, the card distribution. We just wanted to give the latest in terms of that. So the topic is still the same. I'm not going to read the statement. I'm going to touch on it as I go. I think, can I just take off my glasses, because the lighting here clashes with my glasses, fine enough. I think from the last time we met, the one thing that we really want to emphasize today, that we're pleased at least to announce that having some consideration and determination from our regulators and working with them, because it's not a decision that we can always make by ourselves. I think it's good news that we're pleased that we have extended the usage of the gold SASSA grant card that people are using, that it can be used for a further 2 months. That is April and May 2025, that people can continue to use their SASSA Gold card to access their grants. This is now mainly, of course, to those beneficiaries who have not had the time to go and replace their gold card to the black card. It is quite important as well to note that the usage of the card and how it works remains the same. People can use this card across all retailers. It doesn't matter whether it's a partner retailer or not a partner retailer. You can use it to swipe, to make purchases. We do have, of course, our partner retailers that accommodate our grant beneficiaries during the payment run, so we do encourage you to use them. But you can also use it at any ATM. It doesn't matter which bank. You can use the card at any ATM, and of course, you can use it to withdraw when you go to the retailer. Either you purchase to swipe, or you actually withdraw funds from the retailer. So the usage of the card remains exactly the same as you have used it before. This is actually very good news, because as we've made commitment, I think all stakeholders who are involved in this matter We've all had a concern, and I think a consistent question has always been, what happens to people who have not replaced their card? And hopefully this does provide a reprieve in that sense to those people, to ensure that there's ease in the way that they access their grants. Of course, one of the things that we really do need to emphasize at the same time, that of course, because there is this solution, we are encouraging and we are asking people to please then, if you still have your SASSA Gold card, please do not use the post office. Please use your card to access your grant. Because remember, that would have been a solution if the yellow gold card is not working. So we are actually insisting that people please do not use the post office. They will not service you if you go to them out of choice, because you still have your gold card. Use your gold cards as you would have used it. Of course, we do know that there are services that we use the post office for. Those continue. We know that, for instance, our Mzansi Flexi card customers that have been using the post office even before this project, they still can continue to use the post office. Those asylum seekers can still use the post office to access their grants. That remains. And of course, those who have lost their cards can still go and do an over-the-counter withdrawal, a cash withdrawal. So happy that at least those continue. I think the most important thing is that in these 2 months, though, as we continue to allow people to use their gold card, please, there is emphasis that you must go still replace this gold card and use these 2 months to your advantage and to your benefit. We continue to issue cards. We have over 300 sites nationally. So there's nothing that's changed in terms of the sites. The process to go and replace your card remains the same. All you need is your ID card. You need your green ID card documentation, or if you have a temporary identity documentation, you can still use that. You go to your nearest sites. Of course, we're still working with selected retailers. It's still Checkers, Pick n Pay, Boxer, USave, and some spas which we've contracted with. If you need to understand which one is closest to you, please dial our USSD number, which remains the same as well as *120 355 hash. That will tell you the retailer that we are working and partnered with that is closest to you. It is quite important for us that people, hold on, let me just get my glasses. Sorry, the light is now killing me. So it is quite important that people please use this 2 months to get to swipe, because after this 2 months, there will be no alternatives. We will not be providing alternatives for people to access their grants. We believe that we've stuck to the commitment to allow for people. There's now an extension to the yellow or SASSA Gold card. Therefore, after this 2 months, there'll be no alternative. If you don't have your black card, you will not be able to access your grant. That is quite important. If you do not have your black card by the end of this 2 months, means April, end of May, you will not have access to your grant. The grant will still be paid into your bank account, because it is your bank account, but you can only access those funds by using your new Postbank Black Card. Again, people have over 60 days now to go and do that swipe. Postbank continues. Our sites are working well. There are no issues. And this is also why we actually plead with people, please do not wait until the last minute to go and get your card. It is quite important. Currently, we're processing over 30,000 cards a day, which means our systems are working. There are no issues with our systems. We are managing the queues. But of course, when people go towards the end, the queues are going to be long. So don't use the time when the last days of May, because the probability is that everyone might wait until the last days. When you go and get your grant, what we're proposing to people as well, when you go get your grant, go to the same retailer and go around the corner in the retailer and find the Postbank site and go and replace your card. But even outside of that, you've got plenty of days to still go and replace your card. So today, that was really the main reason of the communication that we wanted to share with people. I think it's good news. It's a short briefing, but we wanted to clarify. We know that there is some confusion in the media in terms of the dates that is speaking to April. Please take this as the confirmed extension of the use of the SASSA Gold Card this 2 months. So we are pleading with the media to please help us. We apologize for that confusion that was created, but we will really truly appreciate the media helping us to clarify that people have April, the whole of April, and the whole of May. The card will continue up until the last day of May this time around. It's not the 20th, it's not middle of the month. It is up until the last day of the month that the card will continue to work, which means people have plenty of time to go and replace their card. And I'm going to stop there because that's really what we wanted to communicate today, that the extension of the 2 months, but again, pleading with people to please go and replace their cards. I think the third thing is that there will be no alternatives post the end of May to access your grant. That's important. The fourth thing, please avoid using, do not go to the post office because they will not be able to service you because we've got the solution now. So please do not go to the post office. Go to the post office if you've lost your card or you're asylum seeker or you're still one of our core customers in terms of the Flexi accounts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, CE, for that important message. At this point, we'll take rounds of questions from any member of the media that wants to clarify anything. So the message has been crystal clear. No questions from anyone. We happy? That's good. That's good news, and it's the first. It's the first in a media briefing. Okay, online, do we have any clarification questions?
Yes, we do. We have 3 questions from Naila Ibrahim, representing Uniform. What influenced the decision to extend the use of the gold card by another 2 months? Second question, does this decision still comply with the evaluation notice received by the Reserve Bank? Did you then engage with the bank before the decision was made to extend the deadline for the gold card by another 2 months? Third question from Naila is, will beneficiaries still be able to access cardless withdrawals to avoid issues?
Thank you very much. The CEO will answer the questions, and of course, the Chief Commercial Officer and the Chief Operating Officer of Postbank will assist in the process. Over to you, CE.
Thank you for that. Those questions from News 24. What influenced the decision? I think the summary is that, as we always said when we were asked why can't we give an extension, we did say as Postbank that Postbank respects the regulatory environment within South Africa, and we can't make that decision on our own. I think had we been able to make that decision on our own, we would have never even given the 20th of March. But because we are within regulatory and compliance, and therefore those steps had to take place first. And I think my answer then covers number 2. And then the third question, will beneficiaries be able to access the cashless withdrawal? I'm assuming this is a question relating to SAPO. As we have said, beneficiaries, because they have a card, they mustn't go to SAPO, and SAPO will not be able to service them. They must use their card. I've defined the 3 circumstances where you can use SAPO to access the cashless withdrawal. I'm not sure where the question says to avoid queues. There shouldn't be any queues. There shouldn't be any queues. I'm actually not sure where the person is probably seeing queues. There will be no queues because we've got plenty of time now. Postbank has done just close to 1.4 beneficiaries so far of the 2.6, and currently we are processing close to 500,000 beneficiaries a month, which means we are getting through the queues. I'm sure even the media can attest, at least we have not had any problems with queues. But this is exactly why we're pleading with people, do not wait until the last minute. Because if you do wait until the last minute, you will stand in queues. You will be exposed to queues because everyone has waited. And unfortunately, if you're exposed to queues, you will unfortunately have to take the unfortunate experience that comes with queues. Thank you.
So we will try it once more and open one last round of questions if there are any questions. And if we don't have any questions, we'll wrap it up here, colleagues. I just want to check anyone that wants to take a bite. And online, we also don't have anything? You do? There are, okay.
Okay, I think there's a follow-up question from Naila. The option for cardless withdrawals using biometric verification was made available for beneficiaries as another option for them to avoid the queue. Postbank previously stated, this is a question I'm asking.
Okay. I can take that. Naila, I appreciate you really did understand what the cardless solution was about, so I appreciate you and thank you. And my apologies if I misunderstood you. Yes, you're absolutely right. The cardless solution was a solution that we had talked about, that we will use that and register people to manage queues. The good news is that we have not had to use that. The queues, we've been able to manage the queues, we've been able to get through the queues. But remember, as you correctly say so, that was an option that we had given to our tellers, that should you see that the queues, you can't get through them during the day, please start registering people for cardless solution, because you're right as well, Naila, that they do have to go and do the biometrics, so they do go to the site. But of course, the priority for us was that people must get a card rather than even the cardless, because even if you had the cardless, it would have meant for the beneficiary that they have to come back. So we do prioritize that the people have to get their card. As such, we have not registered anyone under the cardless solution. Any other question? Maybe let me stand here. Dr. D doesn't have to come back. Any other questions willing to take from the media? Unless really the message is clear. And if we're closing, perhaps maybe in closing, I really am pleading with the media. Apologies again for the confusion, because I do see some of them did take from the cabinet conversations that took place, reporting only 1 month. Please help us to clarify, it is 2 months. There was just some confusion there. This is why we're doing this media briefing. But also please clarify, emphasis that people must not go to a post office. They will not be serviced. Please use your card. Please emphasize again for us in the sense that we continue to issue cards. Even after this 2 months, we will continue to issue cards for those that might have not gotten their card. But the unfortunate thing is that if after 2 months you don't have your new black card, you will not be able to access your funds until you do get your black card. The process still stays the same. You only need your ID when you comes when you come to our sites. There's nothing that has changed that. We've increased our sites. We have over 350 sites, as Eureka was just correcting me there. It's not over 300. We have 355 sites. We are well represented in the Western Cape, as that was the conversation the last time. We are everywhere, both in the Western Cape and the Northern Cape. We are well represented in every region, so we don't have any region that we have challenges in now. So we just need people to come forward. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. D.
Thank you very much, CEO, for the briefing. And at this point, I'd like to thank you all colleagues from the media for granting us the opportunity to take out this message. Thank you for joining us for this briefing. This is where we're wrapping it up. Thank you. So if you want one-on-one, so you can do them in sound bites, no? So that I don't have to answer queries on sound bites. So just take them.
No, happy to.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Can you try this? CEO, sorry.
Hello, can you hear me? I can also hear the echo.
Because after you switch off then
Nama, can you also hear the echo?
who is this break? After you can switch off the whatever was happening there. You can always switch the computer. Okay. Let's use the computer.
And we can do it like a normal interview without the mics.
Yeah, no, we can, but we just wanted.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the mic there.
All right. It's gone now. It's gone, yeah.
17. Try the other ones.
Please.
Hello,
Yes,
is that
we can
better?
go. It's okay now.
Okay. Siyabulela kakhulu ngabantu abasijoyinileyo namhlanje. Namhlanje sinendaba ezimnandi ke kodwa for abantu abanamakhadi kaSASSA atyheli okanye agold okanye ayellow. Namhlanje siya announce ukuthi la makhadi azoqhubekeka esebenza for inyanga ezimbini, which means ku April 2025 no May 2025 la makhadi azoqhubekeka esebenza. Lento ke itsho ukuthi ungalisebenzisa eli khadi still ukuthi uyokwazi ukhuphe igrant yakho, and lizosebenza ngeway ebelisebenza ngakhona futhi, which means you can use it ukuthi uwithdraw imali ki-ATM. Uyakwazi ulisebenzisa ukuthi uye kwivenkile ekufutshane nawe uhambe uyokhupha imali ngayo. Uyakwazi futhi ukuthi ulisebenzise ukuthi uthenge ngalo, or else uye nakeyiphi na i-ATM uyokhupha imali yakho. Akho nto itshintshileyo tu kindlela eli khadi lizosebenza ngalo. Kodwa ke into esiyicelayo kwabantu bethu into yokuba siyacela kakhulu ukuthi ulisebenzise eli xesha ukuthi uhambe uyokutshintsha eli khadi liyelo ufumane elitsha elimnyama lakwa Postbank, because xa kuphelele inyanga zimbini awuzokwazi ukuthi uyifumane igrant yakho ungenalo ikhadi elimnyama. Ikhadi eliyelo alizokwazi at all ukuthi likuncede after le 2 months ukuthi ufumane igrant yakho. Kuzofuneka ukuthi usebenzise ikhadi elimnyama, and awuzokwazi futhi xa kuphelele inyanga ukuthi uye epost office uyokhupha imali yakho. In fact, nale during this 2 months siyabacela abantu ukuthi ungayi epost office uyozama uyokhupha imali yakho kwipost office, because unalo ikhadi lakho eliyelo. Minsha ukuthi kule 2 months sebenzisa ikhadi lakho eliyelo, because ipost office ayizokwazi ukunceda ngale 2 months ngokuba kaloku bayayazi ukuthi uyifumene extension ukuthi ukwazi usebenzisa ikhadi lakho eliyelo. Siyabacela kabantu ukuthi baye bangalindeli ukuthi kude kube sekugqibeleni kwezinyanga ukuthi bahambe bayofumana ikhadi labo elimnyama, kuba kaloku siyayazi wonke umuntu uzofuna usebenzisa i-last minute ukuthi ayokufumana ikhadi lakho. Loo nto ke itsho ukuthi uzohamba uhlangane neetyhu ezinde. Kulula ukufumana ikhadi lakho. We have sites ezi-355 nationally. Sisasebenzisana nezivenkile besebenzisana nazo. Uhamba uyokhangela ki-USSD yethu ukuthi yeyiphi na ivenkile ekufutshane kunawe, usebenzise USSD *120*355#. Uzobona ukuthi yeyiphi na ivenkile ekufuphi nawe ukuthi ungakwazi uyotshintsha ikhadi lakho kuyo. Hamba uye kuyo uphethe i-ID yakho, your green barcoded ID, okanye ufune temporary ID usebenzise yona, uzoncedakala ukwazi ukuthi ufumane ikhadi lakho. Kwakhona siyabacela abantu sanukuya ki-post office because nizokwazi uncedwa. Abantu abakwaziyo still ukusebenzisa i-post office, if ulahlela ikhadi lakho uzokwazi ukuthi usebenzise i-post office uyofumana imali yakho, i-cash yakho. If ungumuntu oyi-asylum seeker uzokwazi still ukuthi usebenzise i-post office. If ungumuntu oki-flexi account uzokwazi futhi ukuthi usebenzise i-post office. Siyaqhubekeka ngezi transactions bukwazi uzenze e-post office. Siyaqhubekeka still you will be able to use those transactions still e-post office. Siyabacela kakhona ke abantu ukuthi asophinda silinyuse eli xesha. Une 2 months, hamba uyokhangela ikhadi uyofumana ikhadi lakho limnyama, because after 2 months awuzokwazi uaccess igrant yakho. Ewe igrant yakho izobhatalwa ihlale kwiaccount yakho until ukwazi ufumana ikhadi limnyama after this 2 months. Enkosi. Good? Okay. Thank you.
You did well.
Yeah, no, serious.
No, you
Colleagues, refreshments are they're actually on first floor.
For now.
Okay, we're not going to give anything.